All right, page 130, Grace, aka Werevlog. I'm titling this scene at the bottom. Well, actually, it's gonna be at the top of 131, page 131, kitchen vlog. Interior kitchen, dusk. Rainey pulls out a large butcher knife and begins slicing white onions. She tears up. Grace dances around with a smartphone on a gimbal and begins recording her. I have a perfect shot right here, Rainey. Smile while we introduce ourselves for a cooking show vlog. Okay, dear. Rainey cooks up a large smile for the camera. Hi, everybody. I'm Grace Lippin, and this is... He points the camera phone at Rainey's smiling face. Rainey love. Yes, the ex-rock star, and we're about to cook a T-bone steak and potatoes. Where did you get the steak, Rainey? At the local farmer's market in Barksville. And what are we doing with the steak today? We are actually going to cook it in a skillet inside the oven. I found some good skillet techniques online. Is a skillet good for a steak? It sure is, especially T-bone. Now, you first want to heat it up on the skillet over medium-high heat in heat oil. Season steak with salt and pepper on both sides, like this. She demonstrates with seasoning shakers. Cool. When oil is just about to smoke, add the steak. Cook 7 minutes, then flip, add butter. Now, my technique is stick it in the oven for about 10 minutes or on broil. If you want a more full body cooked steak, but you may want to cook it on the skillet a bit less. Once the skillet and oil is hot and ready, then add steak to the skillet and then eventually add to oven. Remember to first let steak sit room temperature before adding it in the oven, okay? For how long? For how long? 30 minutes or so. Looking good? Grace spins around her and gets a better angle. Point of view of Grace's smartphone. Grace places his palm flat against the kitchen cabinet. Give me the phone, Grace. The show is fine the way it is. I'm setting it up as it is. Give me the phone, honey. It's fine, sweetheart. Don't worry. I said some contradictory things about the steak and the skillet and the oven on the recording. I want to change some of the stuff I said so it sounds better. It sounded a bit odd, don't you think? Don't worry about it. I was going for visuals more than dialogue. It's fine the way it is. She presses up against him and tries to retrieve his hand from pressing against the cabinet door. Give it here. Sweetheart, calm down. You don't need the phone right now. Give me the phone. It's not your show. It's mine. I think it's fine. You don't need the phone right now, sweetheart. It stays in the cabinet. Grace presses his palm against the cabinet, keeping the cabinet door shut. Get out of the way. Calm down, honey. Just calm down, okay? Fine. Set it up as it is. I will. You look great in it. I promise. It's perfect. The fire alarm goes off in the kitchen. Smoke from the sizzling steak billows upward. She opens the cabinet door and notices the camera phone is still recording. The steak sizzles. Oh, crap! Get the towel. Wave it up and down. Grace grabs the towel and waves it up and down before the fire alarm's red dot. Eventually, the smoke alarm siren quiets. Goodness gracious. Man, that thing is loud. Okay, I'm setting up the cooking show. I'm calling it Grace and Rainey's Farmhouse Kitchen. Good, huh? I like the sound of it. Grace takes out a large butcher knife and slices off a bite size of the sizzling steak. He devours the bite-sized piece of steak. I love me some T-bone steak, especially your T-bone steak, dear. Okay, thanks, sweet cakes. You deserve it. He kisses her. She kisses him back in a slightly more aggressive way. She growls. Was that a growl? Yes, it was. Come here, tiger. She grabs him and forces him down on the kitchen floor. The phone camera continues rolling. Page 135. Full moon, dissolve 2. John Blacksmith and Gerald await in an Uber at the end of Grace's farm road. New scene title, Drive Through the Gate. Interior Uber, night of the full moon. John sips on a bottle of whiskey. He hands it to Gerald. They stare at the large, newly posted GL letters in iron and silver. Sorry about that. That is posted on the fence of Gerald's gate entry way to the road of Grace's Lippin's farm. It begins to rain heavily outside. The moon is full. Turn it up, Uber driver. Mark, the Uber driver, turns up the radio. Warren Zevon's song, Werewolves of London, begins to play. Gerald sings along as they wait to enter. John studies the new app that tracks Grace's movements. He's there. He hasn't moved in hours. His truck is parked right there, see? I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand, walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for the place called Lee Ho Fooks, for to get a big dish of beef chow mein. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo, ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. Pass me that whiskey. Yeah, I'm howling around your kitchen door. You better not let him in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London again. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. Huh. He's a hairy-handed gent who rants amok in Kent. Lately he's been overheard in Mayfair. And they're switching back and forth and singing. You better stay away from him. He'll rip your lungs out, Jim. I'd like to meet his tailor. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo, ahoo, werewolves of London. Why did I do this? Ahooed. Well, I saw a lone Channy walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw Lon Chaney Jr. walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw a werewolf drinking a pint of colada at Trader's Vic. His hair was perfect. All three in unison howl to the song. Ahoo, werewolves of London. He draw blood. Ahoo, werewolves of London. The Uber driver looks back. Put it in drive. Here's the code for Silver F. Gerald Oldman III. Step on it, driver. Drive through his gate. Let's go get that creature of the night. Mark, the Uber driver, crashes the car through the front gate and up the driveway toward Grace's farmhouse. Now, we don't know if they have a gun on Mark, the Uber driver, or what's going on. But I think I am going to put a shot here. So we're going to put a segment. And I know I'm in the middle of doing a reading, so I haven't done this before. The car drags the fence and all this stuff. So right here, I'm just going to show, before he crashes through, I'm going to use some technology. It's called filmmaking. Close up of, we're going to put John Blacksmith's hand. Okay. Putting the stick shift, it's called stick shift, right? Yeah, stick shift into D, which means drive. Okay. So now we have Blacksmith doing something pretty bad. Okay. It's a close-up shot. It's of John Blacksmith's hand putting stick shift into D. Now we could even maybe go with an extreme close-up, but right now we're just gonna say close-up. So Mark, the Uber driver, crashes the car through the front gate and up the driveway. This is a little code for Silver F. The driveway toward Grace's farmhouse. The car drags the fence down the driveway and sparks fly around the car. For right now, we're just going to leave it this way in the script. But later, when we're doing the stuff, we'll put all the timing to the song. The song continues to play as lightning crashes down into the fields and a sheet of rain fiercely drops. So do we mean Silver F or do we mean Werewolves of London? Only I know. And the word fiercely is horribly misspelled right here. I thought it was right earlier, so I don't know. We're gonna use technology to help us. Let's look at. Okay, there's an E before the. Okay, so that's where the E goes, my friend, English major. It goes before the L and the Y. So the sheet of rain fiercely drops. The rain is at a climax now, and the storm is thickly brewing. At times, the rain extinguishes the sparks from the dragging gate. Cut 2, long shot of the Uber car dragging the gate down the driveway of Grace Lipton's ranch. Cut 2, interior Grace's bedroom moments later. Grace reads the Rainey book of poetry, published by Rainey Love and Company when she was with the band Silver. The poetry book has a silver cover and is in hardback encased in silver and metal for its cover and spine. And the swans fell from Grace, and the little, entitled ones dressed in holy sheeny golden and green sleeves worshipped the elves far from the land of Grace, and the little ones danced, danced, and danced. Rainey howls while eating from great value can of corn, a silver spoon. I think this is kind of a message to the rich. You know, they still shop thrifty. You know, rich people, they don't buy everything that's expensive. So this is some reality here, that they're eating like cheap can of corn. You know, I'm howling, Grace, howling. So this is something they probably do together. This is very much despair. Pilgrim's Progress, despair. If you ever read Pilgrim's Progress, they're a little sadomasochist kind of. Also think of Addams Family, you know, the husband and wife in Addams Family. You guys from the generation previous of mine, which is the boomer generation, you know the names, so I'm going to leave it to you to say them out loud now. I'm Generation X, so we're the lost generation, so I don't have to know the name. She laughs and the corn falls from her mouth, and she continues laughing at her embarrassment. Cut 2. I am also doing homage to Lynch too, and we're not saving here, we're saving up here. There's a scene where Lynch uses corn, and the little guy is eating corn. So I am making an homage to that, if you want to know. Cheer Uber driver's moment later. The car is now racing down the driveway. John Blacksmith drives. The Uber driver is now in the passenger side, vomiting from nervousness. So Mark, the Uber driver, is going to vomit in this scene. So we're going to have some vomit going on while driving. The car speeds up and dust flies behind. And I think the reason why Mark is, because he's in on it, he's behind the wheel. So he's throwing up out of nervousness. You know, they just rammed a gate, and they're illegally entering these people's property. The car speeds up and dust flies behind them as Grace's country driveway begins to end. The car hits a series of potted petunias along the path. And I'm quoting Adam the Woo there, because this is about vlogging. What the hell was that? I believe they were petunias, dear boy. We're going to get that bastard werewolf. Slow down, old chap. You're going to get us killed. Mr. Uber driver, will you stop throwing up all over your interior? I like this moment. He says the word interior. It's kind of an homage to the filmmaker. John Blacksmith may be like on the same wavelength of as like a filmmaker. You know, they all are, you know, but John may, if any of them really would, you know, may have gone out and really done well, like Gus Van Sant or Francis Ford Coppola or whatever, it would be probably John Blacksmith. He's kind of the degenerate, you know, of the group. I'm not calling those guys degenerates, because those guys are great now. But at time, they had to see the side of the rebel. And he would have been a rebel filmmaker. That's why he uses the word interior. I was thinking this just the other day. It must be in the dialogue. I was thinking it just the other day, that Blacksmith would be kind of like a filmmaker. Okay? And I didn't hit the wrong save button either there, guys. I'm sorry. So, anyway, this is the Petunia sequence. Let's go ahead and call it that. Because if you're not on the same page with me, then get lost, you know? So we're going to call it the Petunia. And, you know, this is an homage to Adam the Woo and all these vlogger people. Petunias is what we're going to call it. Is that, can you have petunias? Yeah, we're calling this scene Petunias. Okay, so it's racing down because there's petunias that are hit. Do I even like say that? I say it in the dialogue. That's how Shakespeare did it. What the hell was that? I believe they were petunias, dear boy. We're going to get the bastard werewolf. Slow down, old chap. You're going to get us killed. Okay, so, yeah, I do say it right here. The car hits a series of, I need to say the word of, potted petunias along the path. Okay, then we're going to save here and see if it allows us to. No, it's not allowing us to, but it is going to the top of the scene. This is technology for you. All right. Slow down, old chap. You're going to get us killed. Mr. Uber, will you stop throwing up all over your interior? He tries wiping the vomit up. What in the hell, man? Okay. So this is kind of serious for Mark, the Uber driver. I'd want him to play it pretty serious because this is kind of an alpha dog moment. You've ever seen the movie Alpha Dog? Because they're kind of forcing this guy to do something against his will, you know. Alpha Dog kind of had that a little bit. Because they're more alpha than him. You know, they're one thing, they're passengers. They have money. They wouldn't have traveled this far. You know, they have enough money to travel. Mark probably is just making, you know, a living week by week or day by day. You know, it's an authority thing. The person that has money and the person that doesn't, you know. Car speeds along towards Grace's farm home. Cut to interior Grace's bedroom moments later. You're so cute, baby. When you read my stuff and all, it's all Christopher Walken now. I wasn't trying to be Christopher Walken. You're so cute. She kisses him on the hand. Oh. So Rainey Love obviously has, and see, that shows some of her character because she was once married to a filmmaker, Irby Keller. So she's talking about Christopher Walken in that scene, obviously, because Christopher Walken talks cool. So maybe he does kind of a version of Christopher Walken for her every once in a while. And that's in the dialogue too. Interior Uber driver's car moment later. I'm going to ram the front door. I'm going to ram the front door. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to ram the mother freaking front door. Let's kill that son of a bitch werewolf mother scratcher. And I'm also taken from my friend Bobby Skez right here on the mother scratcher. We should use that word a lot when we were younger. Gerald, I'm in the third laughing. My God, dear boy. I've spilled my scotch all over my lap. He guffaws. Hold tight. We'll be there in a few. God dang it, man. Okay, so Mark has had it right here. You can see it in the dialogue. We're actually going to put a little thing right here. Capital Mark is up. Is at his limit. Is at his limit. Okay. So Mark is at his limit. God dang it, man! Uber driver Mark tosses his cookies again. So that's obviously code for vomiting. John Blacksmith. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The car rams Grace's front door, and they drive into the living room. I didn't know this. Okay, I'm going back and learning things from my script. They actually drive into the living room. The place becomes smoky. I'm doing an homage, probably like right here, probably most likely to the Blues Brothers. The place becomes smoky and falls apart. The ceiling crashes onto the living room furniture and floor. A silver chandelier, which is going back to Silver F, smashes on the ground. Silver F continues as parts of the front of the house collapse. So, yeah, I'm not going to say plane or anything. So Silver F continues. I'll say plane right here for now. More of a hint. I'll probably tell people what this really means. It's Smashing Pumpkins Silver F-U-C-K is playing throughout this whole sequence. Cut to her idea for the tattoo. So we're cutting right, just cut right out of her. It's very Spivey style. You see my vlogs. Damn, we're at 18 minutes. We got to hurry. How many pages have we got to? Her idea for the tattoo is broken front door. Hour later, a police officer fills out his memo pad. Okay, now we're with the police here. Grace. These son of a guns are drunk and have been stalking my wife and me, and I want you to have them locked up. Police officer. We can't just lock them up, Mr. Lippin. It's really not that simple. They're claiming a mechanical malfunction with their vehicle and for the reason of ramming it through your front gate. We know that it's not good, but nevertheless, it is true, Mr. Lippin, that they did want to interview about being a werewolf. They have their own YouTube show and they think you may be a werewolf. Sincerely, they believe this. A what? A werewolf. That is what they claim. Now, I don't agree or disagree with their actions, but they are 100% sincere in claiming this to be true fact, and they have come here to interview you from a faraway place. One from Oregon, and the other Silver Fang is what he goes by, United Kingdom. Get them off my property. They have a YouTube show. I don't give a flying fuck about a YouTube show. Get them off my fucking property now. We can ask that of them, sir. Allow me to escort them off your farm, and we will take note of what happened to your front door and living room. For now, we will need to investigate the damage and the motivation behind the intrusion. They think I'm a freaking werewolf? Do you fucking think I'm a werewolf? I can't say, sir. I don't believe or disbelieve in the matter. But this is their reasoning for being here and for the accident. They feel the car malfunctioned. At least that is the story of why they drove into your living room. Their story. That's why they're going, that's what they're going with, sir, at least for now. Yeah, it's a freaking stupid story. They've destroyed my wife's patio garden and have nearly leveled our beautiful home. This is our front door. Look at it. Hey, man. Look at our front door. Look at our living room. I don't even know why I put that in there. Look at our living room. It's fucking destroyed. Leveled. Look at our living room. It looks like a bomb went off in there. This is hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of damage, and you're telling me to just for fuck it. Yeah, you, John guy, the one with the YouTube show. If you come back here, I'll cut your head off with a reciprocating saw. You got me? Sir, please. None of that. That's illegal. Cool it, buddy. Show some respect. This man is a well-known blacksmith. I don't care who he is, you one-eyed petty. Excuse me? But my wife was actually older than me. I don't care if you're fictitious insult. What are you, some kind of English major? No. I'm a werewolf hunter. The best there ever was, and don't forget it. I shoot real silver bullets. Get off my patio, you psychotic one-eyed freak. And you too, postmodern hippie. I'm not a hippie. I don't even listen to classic rock. Psh, psh. Grace aims his hand at him as if he was shooting an imaginary gun. Grace mimes shooting John. Gotcha. I don't freaking care. Why don't you just pitch tents and picket? Gotcha, over now. We'll go picket sticks and make signs at Home Depot. Let's picket his place. Werewolf lives here. Shut the F up. I'll kill both of you. We know you'll try. I'm seriously going to kill all of you dead. Of course you will try. And you will fail, my friend. You are a werewolf. And I'm going to vlog you in my Werevlog. We are here to stop you and to prevent you from killing others in your community. We know you're a werewolf, old chap. You suffer from lycanthropy. Grace, you must know thyself. And you are the werewolf. That is why, or that is who you are. I'm good. I found this right here. Sorry about that. You just don't know it yet. And who the fuck do you know that? And how the fuck do you know that? Your tattoo, sir. The one on your shoulder. Is it right or left? Nevertheless, the shoulder, sir. The tattoo. What? This? He reveals his tattoo on his shoulder. Yes, that is a gypsy tattoo signifying that you are a genuine werewolf and have been cursed by lycanthropy. I didn't even come up with this idea for the tattoo. See, for this particular this tattoo was her idea, Rainy's idea. Right, hun? Rainy walks out wearing the fighting robe. It reads Grace the Warrior Apache on the front. Sure. She returns back through the broken door, which is still barely hanging on. The door falls and smashes over into two pieces. The living room ceiling crashes inward in a domino effect, and Rainy throws her hands in the air in frustration. He is gonna kill y'all for this damage of her house. Damn right I am. It was her idea for the tattoo. Dear God. She must be the werewolf then. Technically, it's called a she-wolf. Get him off my property, officers. Gentlemen, this is our exit. Please follow me this way. Gerald and John follow the police officer, this is the word, off, kind of getting Velvet Underground right there, off their damaged front patio and to their beaten up vehicle. We will figure this out! Gerald Ullman III calming him. Careful, dear boy. Gerald and John get in their car and drives off. The police cruisers escort them down the driveway. I don't want this scene completely too over the top, like Stanley Kubrick, The Shining. I don't want like heightened John Malkovich emotion at times. I want the emotion to come and go. It comes at one point and then it just goes away, like it does in life. But seriously, he's upset. He even cusses around the police officer. This stuff probably has happened. He's amazed that the police are not arresting them, because the police are kind of showing this de-escalation middleman kind of stuff, And later, we're going to get to the point, we're at 26 minutes. We're going to have to cut here just because it's gone a long time. I've done a lot of talking. We're at 1:45. And so we're going to go to 1:45 and we're cutting. All right? Thank you.